All right, here are 5 steps and ways to help take your improvisation skills to the next level. These are not only the steps that I guide my students through, but also the steps that I take pretty much every time I practice. Let me show you how I take vocabulary from a variety of sources, internalize it, and make it my own. I basically follow these steps and methods each time. Step 1, looping for efficiency. 2, isolate what needs the most work. 3, give clear parameters and hold yourself accountable. 4, analyze how and why it works. 5, internalize by making the vocabulary your own. All right, step 1. One of my most used tools. Use a backing track program or app, but not just any program. Find a program or app that allows you to easily and efficiently loop one chord or section of chords at a time. Be able to create your own backing tracks. I know there's lots out there to choose from, but I still use iReal Pro as my main looping tool when it comes to editing and looping backing tracks. Here I can select just one chord, a few chords, or even a section rather than the entire form of the song and loop it for as long as I would like. First 30 seconds, I've played everything I already know, so then the real learning begins. So after looping, I move on to step 2, which is isolate what needs the most work. Go straight to the area needing the most attention and use your looping methods and techniques to get inside the sound. What are my common note choices? How do I get more comfortable using the notes that I think sound good? For example, let's take the C minor 7 concert chord or D minor 7 for the tenor. Without any context, like surrounding chords, my most common note choices for this chord probably come from the Dorian minor scale or second mode of the major scale. So basically, I have a lowered 3rd and 7th from my major scale. That's all well and good, but it's all about what you do with those note choices that allows for the expression of your ability to communicate in a stylistically appropriate manner depending on the type of music you are playing. We have all heard or participated in nonsensical solos that are really just a trip to Noodle Town, which leads me to my next practice strategy or step 3. With limitation comes freedom. Give yourself strict parameters. For example, only chord tones, specific groups of notes, shapes, a variety of things. Check out this shape. It's a combination of close intervals or stepwise and larger intervals or leaps. I like to choose shapes that like this because they have kind of a sort of natural built-in variety to them because of the interval relationships. I'm going to give myself time to explore this shape and move the shape diatonically by using only notes from C concert Dorian minor scale. Well, in case you're wondering what diatonically means, it just means that the notes are within the chosen or established key or scale. So in this case, from the C concert Dorian minor scale or D Dorian here for the tenor. Now I will change the rhythm and add repeated notes while still staying within the same sequence of notes from the same shape. Remember, giving yourself clear and effective or efficient objectives for most of your practice time will lead to better results. Then I'll keep the same notes within each 4-note chord or grouping, but change the order. Now let's mix up the order and rhythm. This is the level of internalization that leads to really improvising, even though there are parameters set. Just like the form of a song is a parameter, the key, or the tempo. Now, this is a good way to find new sounds and shapes and to begin internalizing your own creations. But what about internalizing vocabulary from other sources like your favorite players? Now, when I say internalize, I don't mean just being able to rattle off licks from your favorite players. That's just scratching the surface, and unfortunately, that's where so many people fall off and end their investigation and move on to something else before really having a thorough knowledge of what makes that phrase or idea work. Analyze why it works. Let's take this Coltrane influenced phrase that you might hear him play on a song like Mr. PC, or on a minor vamp, or even as a minor 2 chord in a 2-5-1. Notice there's a C sharp or natural 7th on a minor 7th chord, but it sounds good. What makes it sound good? Well, we could say the C sharp is acting as a passing note or leading to D as an approach note to D. Either way, what really makes it sound good is the fact that the C sharp is creating tension that is then resolved by the note D or root of the chord. Following that line of thought, what chord or type of chord has built-in tension and consistently wants to resolve? Dominant chords. The intervallic relationship between the two defining chord tones, which are the thirds and sevenths, are a tritone apart in a dominant chord. So back to the C sharp and how it functions in this context. What other chord can the C sharp belong to that has the same relation to D minor? Check out A7 or the dominant 5 chord of D minor. C sharp is the third of that chord. So essentially, what is happening in our Coltrane-inspired line is a quick 5-7-1 relationship, or to get technical, tonicization. More on tonicization in a different video. So if you think about quickly going from A7 to D minor while the underlying harmony is just D minor, I am in effect creating a forward motion from 5-7 to 1 cadence. Now that I understand why it works and how it sounds good, I can utilize this concept in the construction of all of my lines. This leads me to step 5 and how I internalize vocabulary regardless of the source. Want to learn the 5th way to better practice jazz, which is a strategy I use to better internalize new vocabulary and get it into my playing? Check out my online community, Next Level Sax, where as a member, you get access to an exclusive variety of information, including videos, weekly PDFs, mini lesson videos, monthly jazz etudes, access to all of my books, digital courses, masterclasses, personalized feedback, and of course, a supportive community where you can ask specific questions. Just click the link below to go next level.